Good morning. I've got myself in the echo chamber of an empty church auditorium, and sound's going to be a little funny, but just wanted to, just for a purpose, there's a point of being here today, and wanted to say Merry Christmas to you who are watching this before Christmas, and the rest of you. Hope you're having a good day, a good week, good month, and what a great thing to be a child of God. I could not imagine being in this world, in this life, without knowing Christ as Savior and without all the blessings that come along with it. Sure, there's trials because we live in an old sin-cursed world, but what a great, great privilege it is to be children of the King. I wanted this morning just to take a couple of minutes. Christmas break, most people got their kids out of school, and I'm just sitting here on the platform in our church, and the place is empty, and just wanted to throw out a couple of thoughts today as we sit and think about Christmas coming. And I was thinking about the poor dumb atheists, and just what a sad thing. Now, one of the problems the atheists got is that those crosses behind me, that cross is symbolic all over the world, and it's not a symbol of I've seen all kinds of religious statues. When people come lavish the church with things, they're pouring out every kind of good, wealthy thing imaginable at the feet of a Buddha or some statue of some saint or whatever. The cross is a picture of sacrifice. Sunday morning, I preached on how to have a full, filled-up holiday, and it's by living for others, dying to self, and just the Christian life. But these poor, dumb atheists, it's got to be awkward to go through the whole year as an atheist. There's so many problems, but especially Christmas. What does an atheist do with Christmas? I mean, it's just very difficult. Now they've invented a fat guy in a red suit, and it's just one impossibility after another, from reindeer and a fat guy going down the chimney to him delivering gifts to the world in the night. And I don't have any problem with Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, Donald Duck, and Goofy, or Elmer Fudd, or Santa Claus. Those things aren't a bother to me. I'm not anti-Santa, I'm not anti-Christmas. I think Christmas is awesome. But the poor atheists, they've got to figure out what to do with this holiday. What do you do with a holiday that is globally celebrated, that has to find its roots in a little town in Bethlehem? And how does the poor atheist, I mean, how do you explain Christmas without God, without Jesus, without a Virgin Mary? How do you explain Christmas without God giving and the Son giving? And just how do you do all that? And how do you explain Christmas, the need for a Savior? Well, we need a Savior because men are sinful. And of course, no atheist wants to admit that. They just think we're all just fine like we are. These poor, dumb atheists. An atheist can't look up at the sky without just struggling. I mean, they look up in the daytime and see the most amazing glowing light bulb ever, and it's been there ever since man has been around, and they don't know the future. Of course, they invent all kinds of things that's going to burn up and one thing or another, but an atheist looks up, he can't explain it. And then an atheist looks up at the night sky, oh, the beautiful stars, innumerable. And every time they get another telescope, they realize how many gazillion more stars there are, and the atheist can't explain that. They can't explain where they came from. They can't explain what's going to happen to them. They can't explain what keeps them in orbit. They can't explain why some are constellations that they're stuck together and they move like this, and others are independent and they move like this through space. The poor atheists can't explain what's beyond all that out there. And they try this Star Trek. Remember the shooting off into light speed through the different nebula or whatever, and they try real hard to say this goes on forever. Well, that goes against everything man thinks. There can't be a forever. There's got to be a something, and there's got to be a how did it get here, and how's it going to go, and matter can't be created nor destroyed, and the very law of entropy says that everything has to be deteriorating, and oh, the poor dumb atheist. It just got to be awful hard, and it's just hard. It's hard to be an atheist when you lie quiet and feel your pulse. That heart of yours is the most incredible hydraulic pump ever in the history of mankind. No business, not Caterpillar or Ford, and no big engineering firm has ever invented a pump that could pump so long, so much, so consistently with no maintenance. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Now they've gotten where they do some maintenance. They put a new valve here or there in your heart because we would have died. But 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years, this old heart just keeps pumping that blood through that in a most amazing hydraulic pump. But then to think that heart of yours is tied to your lungs, and so your lungs are breathing in air, and your heart is pumping this blood. I mean, down to your toes and up to your nose and all the way around. And as your blood passes through here, these lungs of yours somehow know how to pull out the oxygen that's needed. And so I can breathe in all kinds of stuff and breathe out all kinds of stuff, but my lungs keep the oxygen. And then they put that oxygen into those blood cells, and those blood cells carry it around, because that oxygen is what keeps my toe muscles and my leg muscles and my belly muscles and my head muscles and my ear muscles, all the things that make it. It's just a big evolutionary accident. It all just happened by chance. And kind of like finding a brand new Apple computer on a desert island and assuming it just evolved from the ocean. It's the most logical thing in the world. It's that heart of yours got no external power source. These eyes, what does an atheist do with our eyes? I mean, they just work. They work in the dark. They work in the light. They're self-adjusting. They're self-lubricating. These eyes adjust depth of field. I can look at something up close and the back is foggy. I can look in the back and what's close is foggy. And it takes some pretty nice camera equipment to be able to do that. But our eyes have been doing that since creation of time, since the beginning of time. How does an atheist explain? I mean, an atheist looks around and he can't even explain what he's looking with. And what a God, what an incredible God. And I just want to encourage you today to know this. We have the most amazing and wonderful God in the world. Romans chapter 1 says that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful. Therefore, God gave them up to these strong delusions. And that is the problem. Because these atheists, they don't want to know God. And they want to ignore God. And so God says, hey, go ahead, delude yourself and be a fool. Hey, you know what I want to do? Let's just say Merry Christmas. Let's just read our Bible and pray. I believe the Bible. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe he's coming again. And I do believe there was a virgin girl and a baby born in a manger in Bethlehem. And I do believe he died at 33 on a cross like that one behind me for you and for me. And I hope you have a great Christmas. Hope you have a great New Year. Let's live it for God.